What's going on, man? Welcome to the Groove Zone. We got some Japan on the list. We're gonna see what they talking about on this one. Before we get into it, make sure you like the video, subscribe if you're new to the channel. Let's get right into it.
Japanese women are refusing to date Japanese men, and the reason why is way more insane than you think. This isn't just about attraction, it's a complete shift in how relationships work in Japan. And here's where things get crazy. It's not just Japanese men getting rejected. A lot of women don't want to date foreign men either. There are massive cultural differences, hidden biases, and honestly some brutal truths that most people don't even talk about. But before we get into that, let's start with something shocking. All right, so there's a real phenomenon happening in Japan right now, which you might have seen across YouTube, and that is where men are giving up on dating entirely. They're called herbivore men, guys who have zero interest in pursuing women, getting married, or even trying to flirt. Some of them are too focused on work, others are just tired of rejection, and some, they've simply decided it's not worth the effort. Yeah, and the result? A growing number of Japanese women are frustrated, single, and looking for alternatives. And yeah, some of them turn to foreign guys.
I'm gonna get myself a cute Japanese girlfriend, and the thing that sucks is most of the time it completely works. You know, obviously, if you're a foreigner, there's a lot of people who really like foreign people in Japan. You can almost have an easier time dating in Japan. I know I had an easier time dating here than in London, but also that could just be my own experience and not a collective experience of everyone watching this. So I might be giving.
But this only applies to a small percentage of women. And even then, there are some major problems. Okay, this sucks, but it's true that a lot of Japanese women think Western men smell bad. And no, this isn't some weird stereotype. It's a real issue. And if you think that's bad, it gets much worse. In the West, beards are a symbol of masculinity. In Japan, not so much. A lot of women actually prefer clean-shaven men. So if you're walking into Japan thinking your rugged Chris Hemsworth beard is going to make you stand out, you might be in for a shock when it actually turns women away.
You don't need to be Schwarzenegger or Dwayne Johnson in Japan to be attractive as a guy. Actually, it can be even negative sometimes, and that's no surprise. Because if you compare to Western women, Japanese women are generally
I don't care what the cost is, I'm keeping my beard on. I ain't gonna lie to you. It growing normally and naturally. Why would I waste time just to keep cutting it off? You feel me? Pointless.
smaller and shorter, and chances are that she's gonna feel kinda overwhelmed or even scared when meeting a guy like this. So rather than having a big muscular body, these are more important usually, and that's why they might look too feminine to Western people.
But let's say you pass the hygiene and facial hair test. There's still one massive cockblock standing in your way. Language. This is the killer. It's by far the biggest reason why foreign men struggle to date in Japan. Most Japanese women don't speak English fluently. And if you don't speak Japanese,
って思ったことあります。でも言語の壁ありますけど。
例えばどの国の人がいいとかってなんかあります？
どこでも行けるな。どこでも行けるけど、ヨーロッパ系かアメリカ系も。
congratulations. Your dating pool just shrank to almost nothing. There are plenty of stories of Western guys who thought they had a great connection with a Japanese woman, only to realize they were stuck in a cycle of awkward Google Translate conversations. It's fun at first, but the novelty wears off fast when you can't have a real conversation. So what happens? Well, in my experience, foreigners turn to dating apps as like the first thing they do. And this is where things get really weird. Because Tinder in Japan, it's a completely different beast. If you're a Western guy, you might expect it to work the same way it does back home. Swipe, match, chat, meet up. Nope, not even close. First off, good luck finding a real name. Most Japanese women use fake initials, random words, or even emojis instead of their actual names. And profile pictures? Yeah, half of them are either anime characters, blurred faces, or just food. Seriously, some people literally put sushi as their profile pic, and that's not even the weirdest part. A huge number of Japanese women on Tinder aren't even looking for a boyfriend. Some just want to practice their English. Others are just curious about talking to foreigners but have zero intention of meeting up. And then you've got the worst case scenario. Women who are straight up afraid of being seen dating a foreigner. Japan is still a country where standing out too much is looked down upon. And for some women, dating a foreigner is seen as too different or even embarrassing.
Are you not embarrassed? This is really embarrassing.
YouTubers won't tell you this, but it's true for many people. But let's say you do find a match. You start talking, things are going great, you're about to meet up, and then you hear this phrase, "I've always wanted to date a foreigner." Congratulations, you've just met a gaijin hunter. Gaijin hunter is a term for Japanese women who exclusively date foreigners. Sounds good, right?
Yeah.
Like, who wouldn't want to be the type of guy they're looking for? Well, here's where it gets a little messy. A lot of Gaijin hunters don't actually care about you. They care that you're foreign. Some of them are just obsessed with Western culture. Some have a checklist of nationalities they want to date. Yeah, this has actually happened from time to time. There are stories of guys who thought they found the perfect girlfriend, only to find out she literally had a list of countries she wanted to try. And it's not just about Western men. Some Japanese women actually prefer Latino men, Middle Eastern men, or even South Asian men because they find their features more exotic or masculine.
You never cheat, right?
No, of course.
So you never hung out with other girls, right?
No, never.
So you never go to, like, those places like brothels, right?
なんで？あれはお金払ってるから浮気じゃないよね。
Some ladies also want a green card, which I thought strange, as I always see Japan as wealthy and amazing. But the reality is Japan has a brutal work culture, long hours, insane expectations, and basically no work-life balance. Some women want out, and dating a foreigner is their escape plan.
Not trying to ruin your fantasy over Japanese guys. I don't know why you have fantasy Japanese guys, because Japanese guys are horrible, in my opinion. But these are the reasons why I wouldn't date a Japanese guy if I was a straight woman. If I was gay, probably it wouldn't be as bad. I don't know.
But here's where things get even crazier. A lot of Japanese women aren't just rejecting Japanese men, they're rejecting dating entirely. Yeah, and this is where the real problem comes in. Japan is facing a massive population crisis. The birth rate is collapsing, people aren't getting married, they aren't even dating. There are entire businesses built around renting boyfriends and girlfriends because people are so disconnected from real relationships. And for women, there's a lot of pressure. The expectation is still there. Get married, have kids, be a traditional wife. But modern Japanese women? They're not interested. So what does this all mean? Simple. The entire dating scene in Japan is breaking down. It's not just about Japanese men failing to attract women. It's not just about foreign men struggling with cultural differences. It's all of it. A complete societal shift. Fewer relationships, more isolation. And the idea of romance in Japan? It's disappearing. And here's the big twist. If you're a foreigner thinking Japan is some dating paradise, think again. The truth is, it doesn't matter where you're from. What matters is how well you fit into Japan itself. And if you don't understand the culture, if you don't learn the language, if you don't actually connect on a deeper level, you're just another foreigner passing through. I don't mean to sound like a dick here. I just want you to see the full picture. So the real question isn't just why dating in Japan is nearly impossible. The real question is, are Japanese women even interested in dating at all anymore?
Kind of need to figure out if this is the person that you want to be in a relationship with within the first few days. People always say it's within 3 days. Don't kiss, you don't hold hands, you don't touch, you don't have sex whatsoever. And a lot of time, the guy asks the girl if she wants to become her girlfriend. As they say, this is the confess culture of Japanese dating. And if the girl say yes, they become couple officially after 3 days. As a Japanese person, it's so crazy to me that in a
Let me know what y'all feel about that in the comments, you feel me? Would you date a Japanese girl if you came across one?